your seed depth is critical. You do not want one row planting at one depth and another row planting at another depth. Is this a blooper?
Consistent.
Consistent. Thank you, camera girl. Okay guys, so we're out the farm. We did get our set and seed sent to us. Full disclosure, they are sponsoring this video. So we did not have to pay for this, and they did not tell us what to say. So you will get an honest review on this from us. We're gonna use it, show you how it works, and give you our honest opinion on it. So this is, if you buy the original unit, and there will be a link in the description below. This is how the original unit comes, I believe. Don't quote me, go to their website and look. I believe it's the main unit and 3 yellows on each side. This is an option, and this is an option, and I'll explain those here in a little bit. So how this works is, if I take all these off, we're set at 1-inch depth. Gauge wheels will go on here, disc openers go here, and that's going to make sure that everything is set accurately at 1 inch. So for each additional yellow, that's another 1/2 inch. So now we're at 1.5 inches, if we have one on each side. We want to keep them even. We're at 1.5. For corn, we're probably going to set at 2 inches on the John Deere planter. But these are kind of interesting. They're either 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch based on how you place them in the unit. So, and the way they can do that is the depth on the inside. You see they're different. So if I place this like this on top, that's a 1/4 inch. So if I wanted to go 1 3/4, that would be 1 3/4 right there. So you got your inch, 1.5 inches, and then another 1/4, so you're at 1 3/4. But if I needed to, say I want to go to 3 inches, I put it underneath. Let me show you the difference here. That would be 3 inches. This would be 2 3/4. See how this side is higher than this side. It all depends on where you place it. So if you put it on top, it's 1/4 inch. If you put it underneath, you see how the gray is just as deep as the yellow? If you put it underneath, it works as a 1/2 inch block instead of a 1/4 inch. So anyway, that's the only thing that the owner did ask me to kind of help explain. He does have a video on his website. Go to his website and check it all out. Check out the videos. And this thing is going to be really handy. We're going to check both planters, the Kinze and the John Deere. As you can see, the Kinze is in the background, so we kind of messed up our intro. So we've already done the John Deere as I speak. So, and we will roll that footage next. So, worked very well, and we are now readjusting to set it at 1.5 inches for soybeans. This is what we had for corn, 2 inches. This is what we're going to have for beans, 1.5 inches. Sorry, I'm slamming things around. My editor's going to tell me that I need to quit being so noisy. Okay, we now need to explain the other optional item. So in talking to the owner last night on the phone, he said he had some requests from people that may plant, I can't remember if it was sorghum or whatever. It's items that have smaller seeds and they don't need it to be as deep. So the 1 inch setting was too deep for them. So you can pull this plate out. You want this plate on top because that's, as you can see, we used it just on 24 rows so far, and those disc openers, you want this steel on top, and I'm assuming this is stainless steel. But we can take that out. We can take this out. We'll take the plate out. So these are the smaller screws. You would end up having to use the larger screws. So now, I'm not going to put the nuts on the bottom because we don't need ours to be that shallow. But, so now, that's 1/2 inch. Obviously, you would tighten up the nuts on the bottom and make sure everything's in there secure. But now you can start at a 1/2 inch instead of an inch. So you can fine tune it, and now you could put, if you wanted to go 3/4 of an inch, you could do 3/4 of an inch. So based on what your needs are, that will depend on what options you need to purchase with yours, but not everybody's going to need the options. So that's why they are items that you can purchase or not purchase based on your needs. So anyway, we're going to set it back up for how we want it. Here in Iowa, we're basically corn and soybeans. So we're going to set this back up. I'll do that off camera, but this is a small company. They're from Illinois. This thing is made in the USA. All the parts are coming from these 2 states, mostly Illinois, and then we got some plastic mold injection stuff done in Michigan. So made in the USA. The printing, everything on the box, everything done in the United States. So the other neat thing is that he has a local company over there near where he's at that hires disabled people, and they will do the packaging for him. So he said he'll walk in with stuff, and they'll get excited that he's bringing more work for them. So it's really neat that what he's doing, he's also supporting people with disabilities to give them a job and help them make money, and also, I would think, feel positive and valued and worthy, I guess. So that is a great cause. So anyway, we're going to show you how this works, but this is, you know, guys, your seed depth is critical. You do not want one row planting at one depth and another row planting at another depth. Your seed emergence is not going to be consistent, and that in turn can affect yield. So the price of this is a small price to pay. This thing will pay for itself the first year. So whether we're going to try and get this video out here quick, because we're probably going to start planting here in the next week, and I know guys down south have already started, but hey, order one. Your first rainy day where you can't plant anyway, pull that planter in the shop and just make sure that your seed depth on every row is consistent. So anyway, good company to support. So link in the description below, and go purchase one. All right, so we've done this side of the planter so far. We had one row that was off just a little bit, this one right here. I could not quite get it up into that other slot like all the others are, so we had one row that was off just a little bit, but we know that every one of these rows is set at 2 inches, so we're going to show you how this works. We're on the back here. It's really simple. You slide it under, get the yellow blocks under the gauge wheels, Okay, let's start jacking it up. Apologize, the jack's a little bit squeaky, but the end result will be the same, I promise. All right, the disc openers are on the metal plate where we've lifted the row unit. We have gone around and brought all these down to the low position. Now we just bring them up to where it hits, and that is exactly where everything else has been ending up. So, except for that one. Yep, all but one have been in this exact same setting, which is kind of what I expected. This planter is only, it's a 2018, so this will be the 6th season for it, and it does 1,200 acres a year. So I didn't expect that there would be a lot of variation in this planter, and we don't have row units that are running on tractor tires. Our Kinze planter, which will be 15-inch rows, is going to be a different story, because you're going to have some of those rows that will run in the tire track. So as that's running through that tire track on those lugs, you got a lot more vibration on those rows. I'm expecting that we will see some differences in those rows that run on the tire tracks. But that's just a guess. We'll see. We'll finish this one up. We'll get it out of here, and we'll get the Kinze in here, and we'll check that one. Jack's a little squeaky, isn't it? All right. Okay, units up. Up here. You just go up to where it hits, and then set it. Okay. So I think you can actually see it right here. This is a stop that I'm turning.
Okay.
And you go up until it hits those arms. All right, so I cheated while you guys weren't here. I did one already. I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing before you guys showed up. So, works the same as the John Deere. We're doing things the same way. Oh, I did grease this jack too. I was hoping to get rid of the squeak, but apparently I didn't. And you'll notice when you do this that if you don't have it centered, it'll want to roll out from under there. So just give it a little, you'll feel it kind of wanting to start roll out. You just give it a little bit of push there and you'll find center. It's simple. Oh, see it wanting to roll out of there? Boom, there it is. So we're there, we're lifting the row up. We know that we are 100% lifted. We're set at 1.5 inches. Okay, like I said, we just bring it up until we feel it hit. Ooh. All right, that one's a little bit different than what our other one is, so that's good. This planter is older, so I am totally expecting to find differences on each row. And as you'll see from back here, you can see that we're running 30-inch rows front and back, but they're offset. So that's how you get your 15-inch rows. But now these rows back here are going to end up in the tractor wheel tracks. I think they're the, it'll be the two up there will end up being the dual tracks. So they potentially will have more wear. We'll see when we get there, but we've already found one that's off a little bit. So as your planter gets older, this is going to be even more critical because you get wear in, I think, in your dog bone, and then in here, inside these, you get wear on the front side of it where that dog bone's rubbing against it. Everything just starts wearing, and then your old setting where it used to be may end up being a little bit different because things have wore. So anyway, we'll continue down and get these set. Okay, now that's where we have always run it. So that one was off a little bit. This one's still good where it was. But now we know that both of those rows are set at exactly 1.5 inches. Okay, good with the old setting. We found one so far in the first 3 that's off. That was off. It's not off anymore. So 3 and 3. Interesting, I don't have as much travel on my jack, but this jack is kind of interesting. I've never seen one like it before, where if you're not lifting anything, that jack will raise clear up to what you want to be up against, and then it'll start taking shorter strokes to lift it. So anyway, we'll get it. All right, so I don't remember the year on this planter, but it's quite a bit older than the John Deere. So it's seen a lot more acres, and we're coming up with, I think we've come up with at least 3 different settings. So here's like where we used to be. 2 holes on one side open and 3 on the other. Look at this one. We got 1 and 2. And we've got, there's a standard, there's a 1 and 2, and I think we got a 2 and 2 somewhere. So we got 3 different settings going on now, but we know that this whole back row,
that's the 2 and 2.
There it is, there's the 2 and 2. So this whole back row is set at 1.5 inches, even though it doesn't look like they're the same by walking back here and looking at these handles. So back row's done. We got the front row to do, and then this will be done. So anyway, we're going to finish that up. This tool is an awesome tool. Thank you so much for Setting Seed for sending it to us. And like I said, link in the description. Also, they do have some distributors that have them. You can find them on their website as well. Your local precision seed specialist, you may be able to get them through them. So just check around. If you want to buy it through your guy, whatever, maybe your dealership has it, or you can go direct to Blake at Set and Seed and order it off his website. So many options for ordering. There are some distributors that have them as well, so don't want to cut those guys out or whatever. So I'm just here to let you know that this is a great product and it's super simple. It took me longer to get this thing out of the other shed and in here and get it rotated around and down than it's actually going to take me to actually set the thing. So had we not finished up last year in rain, we wouldn't have had to clean those gauge wheels and this thing would have been done by now, but it is what it is. It started raining on us last year with about 5 acres to go and we finished. That's everybody, 95% of the people would have done the same thing. So anyway, and it wasn't terrible. We didn't have a whole lot of dirt that we scraped off, but you don't want a ½ inch of dirt on that gauge wheel and then end up that being on. I mean, it's going to throw things off. So make sure you don't have chunks of dirt on your gauge wheels. Clean them up if you have to. Yeah, I think we'll probably, when we're done planting, we'll probably check them again before we put the planter away. And yeah, great product. So check them out and we'll catch you guys later. So your emergence, your seed emergence is not going to be, is this a blooper?
Consistent.
Consistent. Thank you, camera girl. Your seed